Yeah. We're live. It's the mightiest of the mighty, the RSC. Before we get started, let's make sure we tweet this out. Get some people tapped in here. Tweet that link out. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, you tuned in to the mightiest, the RSC. See the champ up there vibing.
Champ up there.
Off the goodest of the good.
I don't know.
Man, got the Jeff Jarrett theme going through his brain
check
right
on
now.
you for a
Man. We live.
We are live. All right, folks. Tuned in. It's the mightiest, the RSC, the Ringside Club. Before we get started, like we usually do around this time, it's survey time. So this week, the intro survey to go around the ring is as follows. We have Bullet Club Gold. We have Jay White, Juice Robinson. Correct answers only. Who's next to join Bullet Club Gold? Santana. Round, what you got?
I got Big Bill.
Bandito.
Butcher and the Blade.
All right. Let's get the show started.
Peace to the gods, the Ringside Club Pod. My name is A.O. Say you're the Ron the Don. Blame Boogie while you at it, blame Chad Law. K-Fabe is dead, break the fourth wall. Whatever style, whether it's lucha or strong style. Come through the beam, you fly, burn the ball down. Back to the pad, chop it up for the par. Ringside Club, intro to the squad as the show starts.
Peace. Ladies, gentlemen, peace to the gods, of course, peace to the earths. You tuned in to my favorite podcast, soon to be yours. The RSC, the Ringside Club, pro wrestling's finest four-man booth. Best in this media space, if I do say so myself. And before we get started with the show, if you're not tapped in, you don't know who we are, you can find everything you need to know by what you see in the middle of our screen, theringsideclub.com. You can follow us across all social media. We're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, Instagram. Make sure you tap in. There's all kind of live tweeting. Conversations are flowing over there. Share it with your friends, follow. And, of course, subscribe. Right now, we're on air. We are live, 9:05 live, every Thursday night, right here on YouTube. But if you want to catch us on demand, you can do so. The videos on YouTube, the audio, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and everywhere else podcasts are available. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. You heard me. Now, as far as I go, only 2 letters in my name. And the drop ain't working. There it go. Let's pass it to my mans and them.
Hey, who are you? Let me introduce you to the other Don. Don.
It's yours truly back again in the building once again. I am Ron the Don. You can find me at Ron Don PMF on all streaming platforms. You already see the shirts. Everybody rocking the shirts. Get the gear, get the coffee, get the hats, get everything, bro. We out here. What's good, Bug?
The champ is here.
Boom, 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 boom.
Like what you need.
What an introduction, you know. Just roll out the red carpet, why don't you? But it's your boy Blame Boogie, favorite scapegoat, 4-time PPV champ. You know, life's good. Kind of missed you guys a little bit. You know, don't tell nobody. But we're back, and we're better than ever. What you got, Chad?
Adrenaline in my soul.
It is Young Godiva himself, CHADLAW, the reigning and defending when I feel like RSC television champion, the longest reigning, the most reigns, the greatest, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, to quote the man that is spinning on AO's mixer at the moment. I will say, tonight is going to be a hell of a night, fellas. We got that Backlash show on the way. We're going to talk some Backlash. I'm enjoying some rosé, some fine wax. It's pie, fellas. It's my favorite time of the week. You know what I mean? RSC. Gang.
Yes, sir.
Squad.
Heard. So here's what we're doing tonight. This is a Backlash prediction show. But before we get into the pay-per-view coming up this Saturday, the premium live event, don't shoot me. Let's talk a little bit about what's been going on in the news. So, Impact. Impact is actually on right now. Today is the debut of Trinity Fatu. So
Yes,
she was on Busted Open Radio earlier this week. And the gist of why she left WWE, she just said she was talked to, how she was talked to, and how she was handled. And she chose Impact over there because it's the best place for her to be right now. So I'm pretty sure I can speak for all of us. I'm looking forward to what she does over there. I'm going to watch tonight's episode back and see what the promo was like and, you know, what she's doing, who she's mixing it up with. But I'm happy to see that she's happy and thriving out here.
That's a fact. I actually just went to DVR.
Word up.
Yeah, she
Doing
looks
my
real
joint
happy.
up right now. That's what I'm trying to watch right now. I'm trying to make sure I get that get the live episode right now. I want to see that as well. It's definitely going to bring a lot of eyes to Impact. I'm a fan of it. You know, last week's topic, we spoke about it right when the news was fresh, but now the actual episode is going live. I think this is going to be a great shot in the arm for Impact. This is going to be a great chance for Trinity to really show her chops and to show that she's got star power and she isn't just a tag team female wrestler. She isn't just interchangeable. She's going to really make a difference. And she's already promoting Bound for Glory. So I think her promoting Bound for Glory already in October, she's going to be here a little while. So that's good to know. And I'm happy to see that.
Yes,
I just
sir.
feel like the women's segments are usually fast forward segments, not meaning we want to do it, but meaning that they speed through them. So I think when we finally get a chance to slow down and pay attention to this singular wrestler for who she is, you'll see there's a lot of gems in there, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, yeah, Piece of Trinity, congrats on the new endeavors. We'll see what this does over in Impact. Over in MLW, Major League Wrestling, MLW Underground, the season finale was just past Tuesday. I went and caught up on what was going on over there. The big takeaway is basically Alex Stone, Boomaye Fight Club. They got the rocket strap the homies back. He's going against Alex Hammerstone, confirmed, for the World Heavyweight Championship. He won the Battle Riot, so he's going to receive his title shot. That's going to take place on July 8th in Philly, 2300 Arena, formerly the ECW Arena at Never Say Never. It's also going to be live on Fight TV, so that was announced by Court Bauer, first time that they're live, at least in a long time. Definitely not the first time, but the first time they're live in a long time. And then MLW Fusion returns to BN Sports on May 25th, later this month. So one season ends, another season begins May 25th. Real quick, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Wrestling Dantaku, that was May 3rd. It's the official 10th anniversary of the Bullet Club. Takeaways, Hikuleo beat Kenta for the Strong Open Weight Championship. That was his first singles reign. And his theme music is kind of fly. I got the fucking the crack music drums from Kanye's joint. It's kind of fly. Zack Sabre Jr. and Jeff Cobb, one of my favorite matches, if not the favorite match this week. They wrestled to a time limit draw for the New Japan TV title. Just like I always say, if you haven't watched it, make sure you do. We have New Japan Never Six-Man Tag Champs. Some big names here. We have Okada, Ishii, and Tanahashi. They are the new champs. But the takeaway was after that match, Shota Umino, who is John Moxley's New Japan protege, he called him out. And he said Mox is coming back. He challenged a 3-1 match. And then Mox showed up on the screen and said, yo, blase blah, I'm back at Dominion, and that takes place on June 4th in Japan. So John Moxley's going back over to Japan. And then finally, seems as though David Finlay is the new Bullet Club leader, and basically he beat the dog shit out of Tama Tonga to win the Never Open Weight Championship. So seems like the top guy in Bullet Club has a belt. We'll see what happens over there. And then finally, AEW news. They're making a lot of money. Making a lot of money this week.
Clap it up. Clap it up.
Clap it up for sure. For sure. For sure. For starters, Andrew Zarian of the Mad Men podcast, he reported that Dark and Dark Elevation are ending for the time being. He didn't outright say canceled, but he said ending for the time being. And the reason is because Warner Brothers Discovery and AEW came to an agreement that all programming is going to be on WBD platforms. So that's TNT, TBS, whatever else they own. That's where AEW programming is going. And that's also in part to Collision starting pretty soon on Saturday. So you're going to have Wednesday for Dynamite. You're going to have Rampage. You're going to have Collision. This doesn't include Ring of Honor because that's not part of the deal. That's a separate company technically. But that's what's going on right there. More money. And then they sold a lot of tickets. 50,000 tickets as of today, as per Tony Khan, for All In London. That's all pre-sale also. So the general sale starts tomorrow on Friday. But they have a real good shot at completely selling this out. So 50,000 tickets. Congrats to everybody over there at AEW. And then finally, AEW news. Whoever's tapped into Grapsity, great podcast over there on Fightful. Will Washington just got hired as the new AEW Wrestling Administration Coordinator. I have no fucking idea what that means. But Tony Khan said he's going to be in live events, social media, creative, and PR. I know he has a great mind because I actually do tap into the podcast. So congrats to Will Washington, black man behind the scenes over there making some moves at AEW. That concludes the news.
Word. Back to AEW for a minute. Just salute to them for selling 50,000 pre-sale tickets.
50,000 tickets
That's
is
amazing.
nuts.
They're gonna have a nice fall, man. Because it was the end of August, if I'm correct. August 27th, I'm correct, right?
Yeah,
Do
and
you
then right
think
after
they
that,
need? I mean, it's inevitable, but do you think they need CM Punk to sell out this show?
Nope.
doesn't seem like it.
Nah.
Before the
think so.
tickets
I mean-
actually were being purchased, you can make the argument because you don't know what that's going to do, and that seems like a lot. 90,000 is the capacity.
I don't know if this is current, but I know as of a certain number, they didn't even have the tickets go on general sale yet, and they're already
Yeah.
sold out.
Yeah, this is all still
Almost.
general sales tomorrow. So 50,000 is all pre-sale.
right.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yep.
So
50,000.
salute to
And just
them,
for comparison, Clash at the Castle. Yeah, Clash at the Castle was 54,000. So this is like a pretty
Wait.
big show
man.
already.
54,000 in all? Like, in total?
54,000.
Oh, no, that's
And
amazing. That's super
They
amazing.
smashed Eric Bischoff's previous record
Yep.
that WCW held, in direct competition with Vince. It's the only company to ever have as many people in a building before was WCW, and that just got beat. So, congrats
killing
to
it.
Tony
Super
Khan.
amazing,
I
man.
talk shit. We all talk shit. We're just hypercritical wrestling fans. But when good shit goes down, we
Yeah.
say congratulations.
We
man.
congratulate also.
Yeah, just salute,
We
man.
definitely
Ain't
congratulate.
gonna play hate.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, of course.
I
Support
dig
involved.
I dig how like there was always a lot of talk about we don't know this company looks shaky, and all they did this week is set themselves up for a lot more paper to come. So that's what's up. Peace to wrestling. Peace to
I
pro
will
wrestling.
say one final thing.
Yes, sir.
If they did bring Punk back, biggest moment in wrestling history in a few years. I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah. They're set up to
Insane.
do some major shit right now. So
No
Love it.
matter doing what they do.
Might be a bigger return than his first return if he came back.
I think so.
That's what's gonna pop the ratings.
Yeah, I can see
think
that.
so.
Yeah.
That'll get them to 1 million again on Dynamite.
2
Or
million.
collision, as they're about to announce.
Yeah, I think that's going to be his show is Collision. So Saturday's a tough slot. Saturday primetime, but I'm 36. I'm
Playoffs
washed.
is over. What we got? Baseball?
Nah, playoffs still going. Oh, by then?
Well,
Yeah.
by then, yeah.
Yeah, by then,
playoffs is
yeah.
pretty much over. So it's like, what we
Yeah,
got?
football,
NASCAR,
well, football, but that's
football.
college football. College football on Saturday. College football's a big motherfucker down south, though. We'll see.
Little competition,
We'll
nothing
see.
crazy.
I'm watching it.
I'm watching CM Punk on Collision.
I'm
I
watching
can't-
Collision with or without.
What
Yeah,
date?
that's
What date
what
is
I'm
that again? What
They
date?
haven't announced.
Oh, word.
They haven't announced. All of this is like, as far as Collision talk and all of that is just like reports right now. But the way that they're lining up, it makes sense. So yeah, that's the news. What are we doing? What's on the agenda here, folks?
We could hop into predictions.
Oh no.
Honestly,
We
why
got.
not?
I know what we got. We got prepped and cooked.
Oh, that's right.
Chad, what it do?
That's right.
Cook.
And I'm already
Prepped and
hungry.
cooked.
I'm mad hungry.
Yes, y'all. You know, we had our beta test last week for Prepped Cooked. You know, we tried out different segment titles, ideas. We finally narrowed it down. We're just going to keep it prepped and cooked for y'all. The point of this segment here is for wrestlers that are being prepped various losses, no storyline, directionless, won't be on television for X amount of time. They're being prepped. Now, Cook is just, from our perspective, but there are certain wrestlers who we have seen that are actually going down the shitter every week, every week, every week, and there really isn't a point of return. Might not even be an expiration date on it. So with that, we are now preparing for our segment called Prepped or Cooked, brought to you by the foodie of the RSC. This is Young Godiva himself, Chad Law, letting you know that my prepped and cooked for the week, Willow Nightingale. You are being prepped, ladies and germs, because it's looking like it's going to be a rough spring for this lady. All smiles. I love Willow. Long Island representative. You got to hold it down, of course. But right now, she's being prepped in so many ways to just not have a big win anytime soon. It's not saying she's cooked, but right now, anytime you get Willow on camera, she's smiling, bubbly like Raquel Gonzalez, but Raquel's winning and Willow isn't. Willow, I don't know if she's caught a big win yet. She might have been on Dark or Elevation. Either way, they're putting her in, or ROH. But either way, they're putting her in the Takeshita role of just being the good helping hand right now. That is my prepped. My cooked is going along with the NXT portion of the draft, which is Von Wagner. He's a free agent, meaning he'll pop up on SmackDown, Raw, Main Event, Velocity, Sunday Night Heat. Any show that's going on, Von Wagner can quite possibly be a part of it. Are we looking forward to it? No, because that man has been cooked for quite some time. No shame in that man's game as a person, but as a wrestler, as a pro wrestling entity, you got to give it up, my man. You are cooked out here. They didn't have anything for you in NXT, and I just don't think it's going to happen on the main roster. He's not going to be Gunther levels. He's not going to be Bronson. He's not going to be Lashley. He won't be Brock. You think Brock Lesnar, Von Wagner is going to bring in the fucking numbers? No fucking way, yo. Unfortunately, Von Wagner is going to be a victim of WWE Main Event in a future endeavor and a tag team partner to somebody in Impact Wrestling 2 years from now. I'm out of here. Next.
All right. Prepped and cooked. I'm going a little bit of a different direction right now. I'm going to start with cooked. My cooked is a storyline. My cooked is The Firm versus Matt Hardy and company because it's bad. This past Rampage, last week's Rampage, I think might have been the worst segment that I've seen on AEW television, period. Whatever they're doing with Matt Hardy, the acting was bad. I think he's been living off of this delete thing for far too long.
Well, it's been years.
It's just like they're going back to like the whole final deletion thing or the firm deletion or whatever. I just don't think it's good. I don't really have much depth there. It's just like not entertaining at all. Y'all know how I feel about Lee Moriarty. He's one of my favorite guys. Y'all know how I feel about Stokely Hathaway. He's one of my favorite guys. I think Big Bill, I like the name. I think Big Bill plays a good role.
You really like that name as fuck.
Because it's stupid, and we know it's stupid, so I fuck with it. He's not winning the title. You're not going to see Big Bill, new AEW World Champ.
I'm not calling him Big Bill, yo. That's fucking
Big
great.
Bill. Big Bill's better than W. Morrissey. Tell you that much.
I actually prefer Morrissey.
I actually W. Morrissey is just a little bit more original than Big Bill.
Yo, if it was just flat out Bill Morrissey or William Morrissey, I could get with it. But they was actually his name was an initial. I should say that, right? My name or two, whatever. Fuck with me. But like this I think everybody in this storyline is positioned to do stupid shit in the storyline when they could be doing something cooler. Jeff and Matt don't need to be on TV every week. Jeff and Matt, they really just need to have one last run as the Hardy Boys. They don't need to win the titles, but you put them in either all in, all out against FTR and have them, put FTR over. You just want them for the pop. Jeff already said this might be the last run. Matt, he's been looking like it should have been his last run for about 15 years now. So they're cooked. This storyline is cooked. Prepped? I didn't put much thought into prep. I'll say this. Whoever was getting time on Dark and Dark Elevation, they're prepped. Because if they don't get time on Ring of Honor, it's not going to happen on TBS or TNT. A lot of good talent though came out of Dark and Dark Elevation. That could be an episode by itself because Powerhouse Hobbs made his name coming out of there. There's a lot of people that really
Just
started to come up.
Start getting your portfolio together for heels.
I wish that show would come back too.
Yo,
Great
that's
show.
a fact.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna research.
The only
when
thing
it's
better
coming
than
back.
wrestlers are wrestlers playing wrestlers.
Wrestlers playing wrestlers. But yeah, it's just a big macro answer as far as prep. Like there were a lot of people, a lot of maybe local talent that was getting a little bit of a look there. There's just not enough time. You know, there's not a lot of time to go around. So that's my prep cook for this week.
I respect it.
Yeah, so my prep for this week is Ortiz, and I know we haven't seen him on TV in a minute, but the reason I picked Ortiz is because
Blast from the past.
yeah, word man. Because I was going through the AEW roster and I forgot this dude existed. This dude, he after Santana got injured, he was kind of floating around. Then he was doing something with Eddie Kingston and Ruby Soho. I thought it could have went further with a little more thought, but that definitely didn't happen. Then
He had that hair match. Word.
yeah, he had the hair match. Oh shit! See how irrelevant he is. I forgot he even had a hair match. It's insane. And then after that, I think that's when he was doing the thing with Eddie Kingston and Ruby. I don't even remember. Then he popped up on Ring of Honor a few weeks ago. Had a solid match. I don't even remember who he took on, and then haven't seen him since. I don't know if he's been on Dark or Elevation. I can't even call it, but I think for now, like he's prepped right now because he needs something. I was thinking he was gonna go into that was my second choice for Bullet Club Gold for him to at least do something because overall he does not have a bad personality. I think the personality will fit in with like the Bullet Club. Kind of like a goofy personality sometimes. I remember when me and A were watching him at HOG shows with Santana. You know, he had like a little personality with him. So I feel like he could fit in there, at least for him to do something, man, because I think he's a good talent. And just for him floating around, it's insane. And for my cooked, I actually picked Von Wagner too. I don't know if we can pick the same person. I got a second person in mind if you want to pick.
Nah, Von Wagner's just burnt. That's what it seemed like. Two people picked him. Done
Boy,
deal.
charcoal, son.
So like, because when you said chat, I was like, oh, it's a light bulb right there. Another guy that's picked as a free agent. Listen, when he was in NXT, how long? I don't
You
even
about
know
to say a name that Boogie is gonna be like, who the fuck is this guy?
Word.
Yo,
He's already cooked.
He's been at NXT for the longest. I think he was in the last. He was in a match in the last takeover. He's been doing some type of storyline with his manager. If he wasn't opening up, then he was gonna leave him or whatever. I'm like, fam, it wasn't going anywhere. Then they had this one segment last week where he was about to open up, and it was just weird, man. Dude's been sizzled for a minute, and for the fact that he, is a free agent. And I'm not saying like because when you look at the list, all the free agents are not like trash. You know what I'm saying? But for Von Wagner, I wasn't expecting him to get a call up like that whatsoever. So.
Word.
Listen, nah.
Future endeavor, that man.
Prometheus and Bob can go back to NXT, though. Like,
Before I give my pick, I just want to pause and give a shout out to Cameron Grimes for being called up.
Yo,
I think he's cool as hell, man. I think that's congratulations to him, man.
Facts,
I think he's gonna
But-
be lost in the fold, and I think he'll be on this chopping block in about 2 months.
Is he a future Impact World Champion, Chad?
He's already a former Impact X Division champion, so I mean, a return to Impact wouldn't be far off. But
All right,
we don't have to get into too much of that.
Yo, before
Alright,
you go,
so-
Book, let me just bring our guest in real quick. You know,
Okay.
we can continue going around.
My man Jo here, he want to get involved with the prepped and cook.
Word.
There we
yo,
go.
My guy,
What's goody?
what's good,
Think you're on mute, brother.
You muted,
you
guy.
on mute? You
My
good? Yo,
There you go.
You was good. Was good.
My
Peace.
boy.
It's
My
good,
boy.
man. How you
Man,
doing?
y'all had me cracking up with a lot of what y'all was saying, man. The disrespect, man.
Yo,
Disrespect.
I
Vaughn
got
Wilder is gonna be Gene Snitsky, bro. Leave him alone. It's not my fault.
yo.
Yeah.
My man J.O. Unsanctioned Pod in this motherfucker. Beantown in here, man. What's going on, King?
Peace.
We
Peace.
good. We good, man. You know, ripping and running, man. You already know, man. We got it's funny. It was ripping and running, and I had a gentleman by the name of Gabe Sapolsky. Not sure if you guys are familiar
Hell
with that
yeah.
name.
Oh yeah.
Hell
So,
yeah.
Oh
All
yeah.
right. So
Hold on,
Gabe was
pick
actually
it
just.
up, pick it up with the name drops. You know what I'm saying? You
You
dropped
know,
it.
no. Well, I mean, I could do that all day.
You dropped that. You dropped that.
But Gabe was here. I was actually ripping and running with him, man. He's doing a lot of amazing things. And then we got NXT, the good old battleground
Oh,
coming
yes,
up here
yes,
the 28th at the end of the month. Your boy will be in the building for sure.
Mhm.
Repping, shouting out the hometown boy that you guys know as Carmelo Hayes, but we're gonna give him back to his indie names as Christian Casanova.
I think that's gonna be
okay.
a fire show.
Yeah, man, we're definitely looking forward to it, man. A lot of good things coming this way, man, for real. So
Fire. I know you was probably just tuned in for a bit. We're gonna let Bug do his prep and cook. Then you can join in and do your prep and cook if you got any off the top of your head, and we're gonna just get into it next.
Oh man, I got a list. I don't think we got enough time for this list.
Yeah, it's only 1 and 2.
I think we all got a list. I think we all got a list, bro.
Yeah. I got Buck.
Yeah, I wasn't here last week, so I think y'all mentioned Hobbs already, right?
I said Hobbs was yo. Every time Hobbs get on camera, I just want to just text the chat like, yeah, yo, I can't wait to hear y'all. I can't wait to hear y'all ball wash Hobbs and be like, yo, he's fine. It's okay, guys. He's good.
He's
like, don't
fine
worry.
right now.
He's fine.
It wasn't
I
like
can't
that.
wait.
Not my pick.
It wasn't
My
like
good.
that. I wasn't ball watching shit.
There's no way Austin Theory retains that championship, so I'm prepping Austin Theory right now.
Bingo.
He's dropping the title. Not sure what they got for him after that. He's one of Vince's babies. We'll see what happens. So he's on the chopping block to me. And for Cooked, oh man, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, man.
Nah,
Yo.
I mean, yeah.
Man, that's like getting out of free
like
kill card of Monopoly, bro. You can't
that
do
was
that.
a free kill right there.
Damn.
It's still bad news though.
Yeah. Funny book. I was thinking that too, but I was like, I was gonna give it a few weeks.
Yo, were they
see where it was
drafted?
gonna go.
Maybe even Chad Gable.
Nah, that's sick. They wasn't even
I'll
drafted.
They weren't drafted. I don't think.
They weren't.
I'll check and see if they were.
There's still another night of the draft, though, right?
No,
Nah.
the draft is over.
Listen, yo, Chad, the draft is cooked.
They're not even a supplementary pick.
It's good.
Yo, they not right. Yikes.
They're not honorable mentions.
They're not injured reserve. They're not backups.
Undrafted is
They're not on the
as cooked
practice
as it
squad.
Nah,
Undrafted is as cooked as
undrafted in the draft is as cooked as it gets. That might actually be the one for everybody. God damn, yo.
gets. Yo, if you are signed to WWE Raw or SmackDown and you were not drafted, you're finished out here. Creative has nothing for you.
Yeah, definitely a future endeavor. Like you got to think like
Collect
damn.
that check.
Nah, I ain't gonna say future endeavor, but creative ain't got nothing for you.
They got to collect that check, man. That's it. Just
Yeah, lay low.
Jo, who you got? You got one prepped and one cooked. Who you got?
oh man.
Across all companies, any company, anything from the week that you've seen, who's being prepped and who's being cooked.
Being prepped. It's tough, man. I'm just looking at it. I think Orange Cassidy's being prepped to lose that belt next week. I think he drops that. I think he drops it to Daniel Garcia.
Right? Mm-hmm.
I think it's for that wow factor. I think it gives the Jericho Appreciation Society a little more buzz, a little more relevancy outside of Jericho. Cooked, and it hurts me to say this, man. Sean Spears is cooked. That man had a gimmick, and the gimmick fired him. He didn't fire the gimmick. The gimmick fired him. He don't even have the chair no more. You get what I'm saying? The chair was like, "Just use a stool next week." Like, I'm not coming out to the ring.
What's that
no
game
more.
where you run around? You got hit the seat. What's that shit?
Musical chairs.
Musical chairs.
He ain't sit down in time, bro.
You know what's crazy? He went to sit down and the chair slid back. Like, nah, bro, you gotta
Chair
get
said,
your
nah.
own.
Standing room only, brother.
Get your back up off the wall.
Sure as hell ain't 10, man.
Yo,
You ain't 10 this time,
man. We picked some
so
good
I mean,
names.
I look at Sean Spears, man. He had so much promise right after that chair shot to Cody. And matter of fact, I don't even blame Sean Spears. I'm gonna recant that. Tony Khan is cooked. All right.
Oh,
Word? Whoa.
Everything, man. Listen, he's fumbled the bag on so many superstars that he could have created that already had something buzzing for them when they came to AEW, like Brian Cage. We haven't heard of Brian Cage since Brian Cage debuted. You get what I'm saying? Then you look at Keith Lee. He didn't stress Keith Lee out so bad. Keith Lee's like, fuck it, I'll just go Greg. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, the natural thriller tag team right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Keith Lee looked like Coco B. Wild had a rough party. You get what I'm saying? Like, he just done. Tony Khan is wasting a lot of independent superstars that went to AEW and try to make something of themselves. Like, he had the Undisputed Elite, fumbled that. You get what I'm saying? Now look at what they're doing now. Like, they would have been perfect in a good feud with the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Perfect. I don't want to cut you off, Jo, but this is actually, I'm gonna just bring in what me and Ayo was talking about in pre-pro. Pretty much like, who is going to have a better 6 months from now based off of the similar debuts that they just had, Jay White or Roderick Strong? Whose 6 months is going to be better from now?
You know what? I'm gonna go with Roderick Strong, and here's why. There's no expectations for Roderick. None. We know what Jay White can do. We know what Jay White has done. He's a former world heavyweight champion.
Okay.
Former United States, champion all in New Japan. He's beat big names. He's beat Okada, Omega. The bar for him is so high. And Roderick Strong, the last time we seen him, he was with Diamond.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be like, all right,
but that's different though, right? Because like the ceiling is higher for Roderick Strong because he was never positioned as a main eventer, but that's not what's gonna happen. That's not what's gonna happen. Roderick Strong has never been a main guy, so he's a tag guy. He's a second in command, so he's always going to be a second in command. His role right now is watching the back of Adam Cole, who is being positioned to take the belt off of MJF. That's what Adam Cole is doing, in my opinion. He gets through Jericho, hit the checkpoint, and then by the time we get to All In, All Out, that's where we're going with Adam Cole. With Roderick Strong, with Jay White, the problem, and we was talking about this also, the problem with Jay White isn't the fact that he's in a match or a program right now with Ricky Starks. That's not a step down. The problem was the fact that when he came in, even though he wrestled there already, he was still a contracted New Japan wrestler. Why? What is his motivation for deciding to sign with AEW? Why are you here? You were killing it over there. Did the competition bring you over here? What's your motivation? They never actually explained any of that. If he came in and had an interview and said, I decided to sign with AEW because the competition is fire over here. Ricky Starks is one of the guys that's coming up, so I'm going to make my name in the States off of you. And then you have Juice Robinson sneak attack and then do the Bullet Club Gold or whatever. It's just the presentation and the positioning. But Jay White is still a upper main to main event guy. So once he gets through him, we just got to see where it goes. Plus the fact that there's going to be 2 shows where the guys are spread out and they're given time to actually cook. He's fine. So 6 months from now, Jay White will be in a better position than Roderick Strong.
2 shows, 1 belt. And the thing with Jay White, man, the reason why Jay White's in AEW is because there's a freeze in WWE.
That's a fact.
You know what I mean? WWE could have easily had Jay White. They could have had Tama Tonga. They could have had person formerly known as Magnus. You know what I'm saying, Nick? All this. At the end of all this, like that was the saddest return I've ever seen. Like
that was the quietest return, a very quiet return.
You could tell he walked in there like, why? Like, why?
The crowd was like, well.
The crowd was why.
Yeah,
Crowd
the
was
crowd
really
was
into
like,
it, though.
"Bruh, you're
What are you
better than
doing
this." Like the crowd, you know what the crowd is like,
But
you're
is he?
better than it.
Is he?
It's
Though?
like seeing
I don't think he is.
Nick
I
Aldis.
I
Definitely.
I like Nick Aldis, but really, what is his ceiling?
Is he? But he's better than Impact. Can we agree?
NXT.
I mean, if Bobby Roode had to stop at NXT, then I'm not mad at it.
Okay.
Nick Aldis would
That
have
was
revived NXT. He could put some spark
I
in
don't
NXT.
know if he
right
would have
now.
revived it, bro.
He could put some spark in NXT right
I
now.
don't think he could revive this NXT because this NXT is like to
This
me.
is
I need
developmental.
dark NXT. I need black and gold. I don't like
Yeah.
the colorful NXT.
I can't get into this either.
You know what I mean? Like I feel like from the intro when I watched NXT, I'm just like I'm not as interested because it's so bright and bright is like, oh, it's so fun and like I don't want that. I want the gritty NXT.
Yeah, I feel that.
You know what I mean? Bring back the black ring. Like, you know what I mean? Just give me that.
But just to wrap up on Jay White, even if he did go to WWE, he'd be in the same position because there's 3 world titles over there and he wasn't getting one of them. So he'd be in either Intercontinental or US to start off with, or even if he faced the world champ, he was losing. So you got to wait until maybe there's a face world champion over here. Maybe when Adam Cole wins the belt, that's a natural competition right there. You got Jay White and Adam Cole. They had a thing before when Jay White was over here. So I think he's fine. I think he'll be positioned better.
You wouldn't be excited to see Jay White versus Seth Rollins?
Of course. But Jay White versus Seth Rollins is the equivalent to Jay White versus Adam Cole. Both of them are the uncrowned world champ right now. And I'm talking about positioning only. I'm not talking about in-ring. I'm not talking about competition. I'm talking about Adam Cole is being positioned to be one of the guys whose face is on the side of the truck when it drives to the next town. He's the one that Tony Khan hands the mic to introduce when we got new shows coming up. So he's being positioned as that guy. I'm not saying that who's better in the ring or none of that. I'm just saying as a main eventer. It's the same. It's the equivalent.
I think Adam Cole is only a face right now because he was gone for so long, and the people like the people that know his story, you can't boo that man for everything he went through and he came back. It's similar to Edge. You know, when Edge, first came back from the torn Achilles and Triple H with the torn quad versus Jericho. He was a face for a little bit and then immediately back to the hillside. Yep. So we'll see though. We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
Yep. Yes, sir.
JL, you in the Massachusetts, you know what I'm saying? Boston, Lowell, all that region, you know what I'm saying? What's the wrestling circuit like out there, man?
Man. So we'll start with the indies, man. You have Chaotic Wrestling. Chaotic Wrestling, they actually do a lot of good independent work. I support them. Looking at tomorrow, Jake the Snake's going to be at Kowloon's. For those who don't know, Kowloon's is like the wrestler's spot. Any wrestler that goes through Massachusetts, you have to stop at Kowloon's. It's a big Chinese restaurant. They do comedy up there. Dolph Ziggler frequents there a lot to do his comedy shows. Mick Foley, all of them. So like Kowloon's is like your who's who club pretty much for wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? But as far as, like I said, the independent circuit, Chaotic Wrestling does a lot. And then you got there's so much WWE freakens through here so much because it's one of their main markets. Like that was their premier market. Looking at some of the independent people coming up. Sebastian Cage, he goes up and down the East Coast, man. My only thing with him, and I told him this, so I can tell you guys on air too, it's just like he needs to gain a little weight. You know what I mean? You can be great in the ring, but you got to have that physique, add some weight to yourself, tone it up a bit, and then you'll get noticed. Same thing with Carmelo. When Carmelo he was great in the ring. When he started to bulk up a little bit, he was always cut, but when he started to bulk up a little bit, people take a lot more notice. Also in the independent scene, like I said, we even go down to Rhode Island. Rhode Island's that's like another city, even though
that's like down the street from you.
Yeah, it's like an hour. You know what I mean? But we go up and down the East Coast, checking out a lot of independent scenes, man, and sometimes big time wrestling. Big time wrestling is something they every so often they have some good shows, but they do have some leeway where they'll do like something inside the concourse of Fenway Park as well, which always leads to some bigger names to come out and You know, it happens during Latino Fest, which, you know what I mean, it's just eye candy all day, regardless. And then you go and get entertained with wrestling. So you can't go wrong there. You know, so I would say wrestling in the Northeast is good. It's in a good spot. You know what I mean? A lot of good independent promotions. However, I feel like they definitely could do a little bit more and bring in some notoriety. But it's kind of hard because you also have so many different brands that frequent the area. So,
I mean, shit, with all this talk about, you know, all the wrestlers that you done seen come up and meet come up, who are some of, this is our topic for the Ringside Club Around the Rings, really is, who are some of all of y'all's favorite wrestlers that you met? Like, first time you've ever met them, like, blew your mind away. Maybe you had an experience where you're like, damn, this is what I'd like to meet you. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna say my favorite wrestler to meet. I had two experiences when I was young. I met Randy Orton at Sunrise Mall in Long Island.
Hey,
He was
yo,
doing
peace out live, peace out live.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Peace out, you know what I'm saying? He did a meet and greet. This was at the height of Evolution. This was like the Goldberg era, like right when Evolution was feuding with Goldberg. So he was in the fold. And he was walking by Super Hill. My man's was like, yo, you suck, Randy Orton. And then Randy just turns around and is like, yeah, I bet I make more money than your parents. And I was like,
such a Randy Orton
yo,
answer.
this guy's a dick.
Very Randy.
Like, yo, Randy Orton. Like, everyone was like, ooh, at the time, you know what I'm saying? We like 10, 11, you know what I mean? 12,
RKO from out of nowhere.
Yeah. Like, I was like, wow, this guy's sick. So, and then in 2005, another Long Island event, Lake Grove, Ring of Honor. I met Bryan Danielson the night he beat Jamie Noble to win the Ring of Honor championship back.
Yeah.
Yo, bro, that was one of the first wrestling shows I ever went to. And honestly, bro, looking back on it, like that card was like, I didn't know. I just didn't know at that time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I went with my cousins and it was like, yo, dog, that card, like, for those that don't remember that time period, Low Key and Jay Lethal had a match, anything goes match. Austin Aries had a match. Nigel McGuinness and Roderick Strong had a pure championship match that night. Colt Cabana defeated Homicide. Jay Lethal beat Julius Smokes. Samoa Joe beat Adam Pearce that night, yo. Like, watching that shit again, I was like, yo, I was there. Holy shit. And then that wasn't even the main event. AJ Styles had Mick Foley in the corner, and he beat Jimmy Rave with Prince Nana to earn his right to use the Styles Clash.
What a time.
Long story less long, I met Bryan Danielson in the meet and greet. He just beat Jamie Noble. Jamie Noble was going back to WWE at the time, so the crowd was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know what that smart vibe was like at the time, so the crowd was just like on some sellout shit. It's like, yo, boo, get out of here. And I'm like, Jamie Noble. But you know what I'm saying? Bryan Danielson at that time, and he's still one of my favorite wrestlers all time. You know what I mean? Love that guy. Hey, yo, you got some of your favorites, man.
3 just popped up. We got an echo coming from somewhere. Where there you go. But like I went to one of the first indie shows I went to was a company called Family Wrestling Entertainment. They had a show somewhere out in Brooklyn. And I think it was like a gym, like a school gym or something like that.
I remember when you went to that show.
Yeah. Family Wrestling Entertainment. The main event was Johnny, whatever the fuck his last name was at the time, Nitro Morrison versus
Johnny
AJ.
Family?
Yeah, it might have been Johnny Family that night.
Johnny Family?
It was Johnny Family versus AJ Styles. And I think AJ Styles was the Family Wrestling Entertainment World Champ too.
Johnny Family is an insane name.
But I got a chance to meet the Young Bucks and take a picture. And they were doing like meet and greets. I actually didn't pay. I gave them a wristband for the company part of my fresh. And they gave me a wristband. And we took a flick and pieced it up. And that shit was cool. So peace to the Young Bucks. The other 2 stand out because both of those guys have unfortunately passed away. House of Glory, I had a chance to take a picture with Scott Hall. Scott Hall, and you mentioned J.O. earlier, Jake the Snake Roberts. Both of them were there doing the meet and greets. And you know that these guys are tall, but until you see them in person, it's like, oh, shit. Like, I'm 5'7". These dudes are 6, whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? So like I saw like Jake and Scott Hall walk from wherever they were doing the meet and greet back to, I guess the dressing room and shit. And they walked by where my seats were. It's like, yo, these dudes are tall as hell. But I got a chance to actually meet Scott Hall, take a picture with Scott Hall, get an autograph from Scott Hall. So that was tough. And then the other one we talked about when we did the tribute show to Jay Briscoe, Ring of Honor down in Baltimore, for my bachelor weekend a couple of years ago. We went down there to see him, and that wasn't a meet and greet. That was literally just we were on the way out we were moving around, and Jay Briscoe passed in the little waiting area.
We were walking back
the corridor.
He was in the corridor.
He was just chilling,
standing there watching the match, watching the main event.
Me, Ron, and two other friends of ours. We all had them boys Briscoe shirts on and shit, and he noticed them. He said something or whatever. And I took a picture, and the coolest shit was not even that he was willing to take a picture or whatever. Like, I hate bothering people, especially like in entertainment when I know that meet and greets are all part of how you make your living. So I don't do that. But I was drunk, and it was my bachelor weekend. Fuck it. I'm asking for a picture with Jay Briscoe. He was super cool enough to actually make sure that we got enough pictures so that everybody's eyes was open in the picture. He's like, take as many as you need until we're good. Thanks for coming out. Good dude. So R.I.P. Scott Hall, R.I.P. Jay Briscoe, and peace to the Young Bucks. Ron.
Yo, I remember I was at that show with you to the one that Scott Hall was at, and unfortunately I didn't get to take a picture with Scott Hall. I wish I did, but it is what it is. RP Scott Hall, man. A person I had a wrestler I had a good experience with is another HOG show we had went to. Where we did a meet and greet with it was Kurt Angle, and the other one was Mark Henry. Out of the both, I loved taking a pic more with Mark Henry. But I took a pic. I went up to Kurt Angle first, and his energy was it wasn't like welcoming.
Damn, Kurt Angle at House of Glory? That's already a wavy sentiment off top. Like, what a sentence, bro.
I don't even remember if I paid or not. I think I did, but like I was approaching him, and he wasn't really like, he didn't seem very approachable. I mean, I still took a picture with him. He was cool, but I went to Mark Henry, and he sounded like he was just a genuine dude, man. He had good energy. Pieced it up with me. Took a pic of him choking me out or whatever. I had posted it on the IG a while ago, and I
bring
took
that back.
Yeah, I might have to. But overall, like, you see him like in interviews, you see him on TV right now, like, other than like his character, like the dude's like the kindest, most genuine dude in the whole world, and that's what I felt for him, taking the pic with him. So it was just mad love from him. So yeah. And like the second one was the one with Jay Briscoe, because for years, like, you've seen Jay Briscoe as this hard character, but like we approached him when we were walking out, and he just seems like the nicest dude in the world. So it's like he just seemed very approachable. I ain't get to say too much to him, but just the energy is everything, man. And just for the fact that we can just go up to him and like just take the pic with him, he was just so appreciative. That was dope, man. But RPJ Briscoe, man, and salute to Mark Henry again, man. I might have to post that pic. That pic again, man. That was a good night.
You should.
What you got, Boog?
Yeah, so I named a couple people that I met on the podcast before. Mr. Perfect. I think Bam Bam Bigelow was there. There was 1-2-3 Kid, a whole bunch of them, right? But I think the coolest one is because it was unexpected. I used to work for Champs Sports in the mall in Waterbury. And one day out of nowhere, I look up and Al Snow is just in our store. Just like,
what does everybody want? One of the best catchphrases.
Sneakers. He was in Champs.
Yeah.
Sneakers.
Zubaz
Best catchphrases
and
ever.
a cutoff shirt, and he was in Champ Sports like it was like the early 90s, even though it was like the early 2000s. So that was that.
It's the best catchphrase, yo. I can't believe I can't believe I wasn't of age to enjoy that shit, yo. This shit would have been completely post right now.
He said I wasn't
Why
old.
does this guy have a mannequin?
I
I'm not
wasn't old enough.
understanding.
I
I'm
wasn't
not
old enough to
understanding.
understand what getting topped off is all about.
I didn't understand what does everybody want, what does everybody need, and he's got a head mannequin. I was like, I
Gives
don't
a
get
whole new meaning to Shotgun Saturday Night when you think about it.
it.
For sure.
J.O., who you got, yo?
Oh man, this is actually tough for me. I mean, just to narrow everything down, but I'll move forward with these three. Number one, I'll start with Ken Shamrock. Ken was someone who hopped on, the Unsanctioned podcast early. And what we like to do, we always like to follow up with our guests. Even when we're not trying to interview them or anything, it's just a periodic text. It's like, hey, thank you for doing it. Hope all as well. And so I was able to meet him back in March of 2020, right before the pandemic down in Atlanta. Actually, I think that's when I met you, sir.
Yes, when I met you at the Impact Wrestling show where I took my infamous picture with Tessa Blanchard. That was the last time we saw anything of her.
Yeah, I took one with her too. I was just looking at that too.
That was insane, bro.
But then I also had Kira Hogan, so I guess that balanced out, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so like Eddie Edwards, a good friend, set me up. He realized I was down there. I was actually down there for something else, and he left me with some tickets, and went out afterward, hung out with all the guys, Moose and all of them. A few of them had been on the show, but Ken was someone that, as soon as I was introducing myself to Moose, Ken like perked up and he turned around and he was just like, he's like, I know your name from somewhere. And I was like, yeah, you did the Unsanctioned podcast. And he was like, that's right. And he's like, and you're the one that texted me. And he was like, yeah, I was just looking at the text. He was like, oh man, like we was just chopping it up. I was joking with him about how Dan Severn, about a few of their matchups, and he was like, Dan's boring. He was like, I'm pretty sure you guys were falling asleep when you interviewed him. Like, but Ken was cool. Ken Shamrock's a cool guy. Number 2 on that list would be Kofi. Kofi, I feel like a lot of what we even did it with Natalia, but I felt like a lot of topics that we cover with him and whatever the case may be, and he's from Massachusetts. He knows some of my family and whatnot. But we talked about him being world champion someday, and it just happened to be like about 18 months later, but it worked out. It was amazing. It was a blessing. And every time we see Kofi, man, he no matter what he's doing, he'll stop and he'll come over and dap us up and then holler at us, man. So like Kofi's a real one, real down to earth. And number 1 has to be the Nature Boy, Ric Flair. So Rick is it's funny, man. Like I got so many stories with Rick. I met him through my job. I had to set something up. And it worked out. He was able to come up and surprise someone and to help out, which was dope. But from there, we was just shooting the shit, man. He was telling me all the stories about his time in Boston and how they basically got locked him up for 16 hours so he can get sober, and then threw him on a plane and told him told him don't tell no one about it. Like so many stories with Rick, man. Rick is awesome. And then when I met his daughter, it was I had FaceTimed him, and I went up and I was just like, I just handed her the phone, and she was looking at me like, how you know my dad? Like everyone starts going crazy with all the woos, but Rick is someone who's awesome, man. Like if you ever go drinking with Ric Flair, make sure that you probably sign an NDA, but those are memories that you're gonna have for a lifetime. Like Rick was awesome. I last year at Mania down in Dallas, was with him, and he introduced me to everybody and their mama. And when I sit here and tell you, like that man, ladies love Ric Flair, that is not an exaggeration. I've seen how they flock to him, and I was just like, you know what? And I had to whisper in his ear. I was like, what? I was like, longest line, what, Rick? And he just looked, and he put up the glass. Longest line, longest ride, and threw it back. Like so. But Rick is awesome, man. So like he would be my number 1, man. And that's until I get to meet my guy RVD. Once I meet RVD, I feel like that I'll be circle. Him and Ahmed. I plan on meeting Ahmed in July when he's up this way. Ahmed is a good supporter of of the podcast, and it was his interview that kind of put us on in a limelight where we had people like, Stevie Ray responding on his podcast to stuff that was said and stuff like that, man. So like Ahmed, and I hope you guys at some point in time get to talk with Ahmed again, because he's someone who's just so down to earth, so humble. He gives you his truth, you know what I mean? But he's a real one, and I can't say enough great things about him. So,
anyone here met Virgil? Anyone got a Virgil story?
No.
I was told if I have nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all.
I know we got a Virgil. I feel like AO would be like, "Yo, actually, I came across Virgil."
I was about to say, I feel like he might have been at an event, like an HOG event, but I can't call
got a
it.
Virgil story they want to share? No.
I met him. What was that first event before All Elite became official? All Out. So he happened to be down in that area, and Kevin Sullivan, the Taskmaster. Shout out to him, man. He blessed us. So we was down there doing a guerrilla style Starcast. You know what I'm saying? So instead of having the table set up, we was walking around with the Ghostbusters backpack all bulked up in microphones.
Yeah. That's the type of time.
Yeah, so we was getting a lot of interviews, man, and we came across Vincent. And the man really tried to charge us. Really tried.
You was the only one in the booth? It was just him and you?
No, like we walked by, like I said, we was guerrilla style. So like there was a lot of podcasts set up on Starcast. We weren't doing that. We was walking up.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like when you go to the Virgil booth, remember the meme where it's just Virgil by himself? It's like,
he
y'all
even
walked
like,
up? It was just y'all?
I don't know if he was set up for a session. We was we seen him in passing. You get what I'm saying? Like Buff Bagwell tried to do the same thing too, and then like Kevin said something to him, and it wasn't nothing disrespectful, but like then Buff kind of changed his tune. It was like, "Yo, here's my number, reach out." But yeah, man, Virgil was like, "My time is money," and I was like, "Well, guess we ain't got the time." You know what I mean? But yeah, it was one of those where, you know what I mean, he kind of gave us the look like, you know how someone try to guilt you in it because like he's like, "Oh, you a brother, you should." I'm just like, respectfully, like I'm not shitting on your hustle. It's just if I was just speaking with Scott Steiner and Adam Page, like, and they didn't ask me for money, I can't compute paying you. Like,
what is the Virgil story gonna hold? You know what I'm saying? What stories you gonna tell me from back?
Yeah, you gonna tell me how you won the $1 million belt? Which, you know what I mean? Like, okay,
yo, you and Cameron Grimes is Eskimo brothers or some shit. I don't know, man.
Like you look like you had the barbershop pants on, bro. Like,
not a barbershop pants is nasty. It's a nasty fit right there. Heinous fit, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's an interesting one. I'll just put it like that.
That was a good one, y'all. We appreciate you on that tip, my G. You know what I'm saying? You're welcome to hang around. We're doing our Backlash predictions up next.
I'm here for it.
You know what I'm saying? It's that time. This is a PLE. You know what I'm saying? B level, B style PLE. Follow up WrestleMania Backlash. Not so many matches on the card, but this one's gonna be a good one. Fellas, you got that pulled up. Ron, AO, we got that ready. All right, you know what I'm saying? All the predictions are in. Y'all know how we do with the RSC, the Ringside Club. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, tell a friend to tell a friend. This is our predictions episode. We got JO from the Unsanctioned Podcast in here rocking with us right now. Real quick, homie, tell them where to follow you at.
Man, you can follow me across all social media at TheCoso, TheCoso 781. Once again, that's TheCoso 781, TheCoso 781 on all platforms.
There you go.
Take it away, man.
Backlash is this Saturday. The Ringside Club pay-per-view predictions champion currently is Blame Boogie. We will see if by the end of the show he is still, or will it be and new? Let's see. Y'all know what time it is. Title matches are 2 points. Non-title matches are 1 point, and then we have 2 5-point questions, stipulation questions at the end of this. So let's start off. Let's go with this 6-man tag match. We got Matt Riddle teaming up with the reigning tag team champions, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn. They're taking on the Bloodline, Solo Sikoa, Jey Uso, and Jimmy Uso. Paul Heyman's probably going to be down there with him. A lot of dissension in the bloodline. I'm going with Riddle, KO, Sammy to take the victory simply because what we're watching right now is by the time we get to the next SmackDown, it's going to be the trial of the Usos. Roman Reigns is going to come back. He's going to say, you guys are embarrassing me. It's going to take them to trial. So that's what we got. We got the crumbling of the bloodline going on right now. KO, Sammy, and Matt Riddle, they will take the victory.
Yes, sir. I got the same picks as well. Yeah, Usos gonna take that loss, and they're watching out for a Hitman. So when they start on
Not Bret Hart. Not Bret Hart though.
Not Bret Hart.
Nah, Brett chilling with the God tonight. Brett's on the ones and twos. Piece of the
Not
Hitman.
The Hitman. Though.
Bret Hart over there mixing it up. You dig?
Yeah, that Hitman.
They got watch for the hammer in the back or something. You know what I'm saying? Like
Pause on that. The hammer in the back is crazy.
Holy moly!
Damn, bro. The fuck was that? Bro?
all right, fine. They got watch out for the Hitman. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Delete.
That was flag on the play.
Yeah, I got the same thing. I don't really got to waste nobody's time with that. I think we all know that when WWE wants us to know something, they let us know something. I don't really think that the Usos win this one. It's just writing's on the wall there. So that's what I got.
Yes, sir.
I want to be the difference maker like I always am with our picks and go bloodline, but I just want to be logical here, and I think this is the right time to keep the L's going and let them take that and let that trial begin. I think KO, Sammy, even Riddle, they could use this W. Lord knows Riddle needs this W. And with our 5-point play, I think that will come into effect at this match at the right time.
I believe so.
As a helping hand, if it happens. J.O., what you got?
I'm in agreement with all you guys, man. I see Riddle, KO, and Sammy taking the dub. I see Jimmy taking the pinfall. He's the one gonna collect that.
Yeah, definitely the scapegoat. He is the scapegoat every time right now.
Yeah, and I see Solo kind of being pit against his brothers. Don't be surprised if he gives a Samoan spike to someone other than his opponents.
That's out there. That's bold 100%. Right there, King.
I think what that leads to is the main event Jay versus the Tribal Chief Part 2.
Yeah, Part 2. Run of fans. Yeah, I'm here for that.
So I think they're building to that. Just something that kind of hold people over until SummerSlam, where Roman will face someone else that he'll steamroll through too. So.
Mm-hmm. Next up.
Okay. All right, let's go. I'm gonna skip Cody and Brock for now. What do y'all think is gonna be the main event? By the way, you think it's Cody Brock, or do you think it's the San Juan street fight? Bad Bunny.
Street fight.
Definitely Bad Bunny.
Street fight, right?
I think the street fight.
All right.
Yeah, Bad Bunny's closing this
makes sense.
All right, so we'll close with that then. Let's go Cody.
That's gonna be Triple H Sting 2.0. We just don't know all the run-ins that's gonna happen.
Yo, there's gonna be mad people in that match.
You're gonna see the bodega still on. Like you're gonna see all
that. It's gonna get crazy. So you're gonna have Bad Bunny manager, his team. You're gonna have people at ringside go.
You're gonna have the cat that sit on the bread in the store.
Yeah. That's gonna be fire. Hey, what's the next joint?
So let's go with Cody Brock. We got Cody Rhodes. We don't know as viewers. We still don't know why Brock Lesnar attacked Cody Rhodes. But nonetheless, we have a match. Brock turned on Cody as we saw on Monday Night Raw. Supposed to be a tag match. Didn't happen. He beat the shit out of him, and since then, Cody's been trying to get his pound of flesh, as they say. He's been trying to get his revenge. I think Brock Lesnar takes this. Reasoning is just thinking from a meta standpoint. They introduced this new title. I thought that Cody would have been primed to face and beat Roman Reigns at SummerSlam, and it doesn't seem like they're doing that now. They introduced a new title. It seems though he might go past WrestleMania 40, 41. We don't know. They have a new title to keep us busy. So in the meantime, now the question is, how far can Cody Rhodes fall before he actually starts his rise back up to look like a main eventer? And Brock is not going to be the one, at least not for this pay-per-view, that he actually gets the momentum. Plus, Brock Lesnar contractually can't face for Roman's championship. But again, we have a new championship coming. Brock Lesnar is probably not going to win the tournament, in my opinion. I think he's going to be the first opponent for the person that I think wins this title. So you want to keep him looking dominant and looking like the monster that we know Brock can be. So I'm going with Brock take W. Ron.
I got Brock. I got Brock taking the W as well. I really have no deep reasoning why it is Brock. I think it's to
Pause.
keep the.
Nah, that's not a pause, bro.
It's the deep reasoning.
Deep reason. All right, you're reaching now, bro.
Chad is firing right now, bro.
Got the Uzi going. Listen, I think it's something for Cody to do until he gets to Roman again. My answer may change in the next few months. I mean, after that, but I think right now it's just something for him to do. Yeah, I got really nothing crazy about it. I just got Brock, and I got Brock winning, in less than 10 minutes. Part of the stipulation.
Oh, hold on. You fast forward and we'll get there.
Okay. All right.
We'll get there.
What you got, Book?
Yeah, so I originally was 100% certain Cody's going to win this match, right? I'm like, why would they have Cody lose? Then I had to think about why they'd have Cody lose. And I don't know if Cody made mention to this or anybody within WWE made mention to this. A whole bunch of people legitimized his loss and said he has to go through hard times now. Now, I don't know if that's really a thing or if that's happening. But if it is, then you would think he wouldn't win against Brock. That's the only thing making me question my pick. I'm just being honest with you. I was so sure Cody's going to win. But if that hard times thing is real and losing to Roman was just the beginning of it, I don't think it just ends with Brock. I think you would put Brock at the end of that to then go to Roman or something like that. So having it at the beginning, it makes me think the logic's thrown out the window. And I got Cody winning, yo. I'm just staying with Cody, yo.
Staying with Cody anyway.
Yeah, I knew somebody. I was like, yo, no way we all chose Brock.
That's the way I bet at the casino too. I just
Make sense out of some shit and do the opposite.
That's it. I'm just staying with Cody.
You mean for what it's worth, you would have won the only one here that said Roman was walking out of WrestleMania. So sometimes it works.
I'm going Brock. I think we've all laid out reason as to why, and I just feel as though Cody beats Brock. Why can't Austin Theory beat Brock? Why can't someone of the same build and figure beat Brock Lesnar? Why can't Ricochet beat Brock Lesnar? If Cody Rhodes can beat Brock Lesnar with just such ease, I mean, it might not be ease. I mean, I'd say ease, but if Cody can beat Brock with just one match, that's it. Cody 1, 2, 3. I just don't think that's going to happen. Funny finish, I think, can happen. A lot of the Lashley Lesnar segments, I think a funny finish, or Brock is just going to end up taking that W and have the crowd like, because that moment of is really going to drive home the Cody Rhodes love. I feel. JL, who you got?
I got Cody by disqualification. I think.
Funny finish.
Yeah, I think it's one where Brock continues. I won't say he'll low blow him, but I think it's one where the referee, he won't break a 5 count. And I think Cody gets the win where it protects him, but he gets humiliated in front of the people and bruised and battered. And I think that continues his storyline. They might not go right back to Brock. They might try to space it out a bit, but I think that's the route they go now.
And it would keep me champion. All right.
That's a good one. Cody by
think
DQ
about
was
that.
good.
Yeah.
That's a good one. All right, one of our 5 pointers here is directly related to this match. Brock versus Cody, over or under 10 minutes? I'm gonna say just over, but I'm going over. I think it's gonna be 11, 12. It's gonna be a nice back and forth struggle that somebody's bleeding. Cody's bleeding in the first 2 minutes. Somebody's bleeding, but I think it'll go. This ain't gonna be a squash either way. So over, Ron.
I got it under, and I'm gonna play Price is Right numbers. I'm gonna clock it in at like $9.59.
$1.
I think it's gonna be over. Yeah, I'll just keep it simple.
Over.
I'm going with it's going to be under. That thing is going to be 8:58. The most action-packed 8:58 that you've had on that pay-per-view. Like the women's title match of either match would be under like 11 minutes, but like they're gonna drag. Like you're gonna be like, yo, this is a long 12 minutes for this Zelina Vega match. But that Brock and Cody, that 8:58 is gonna feel like, damn, it's just over already. Wow, they kicked each other's ass. Jay, who you got?
Got slightly over 10 minutes with a Spanish announce table being broken.
Oh no, that's a fact.
And then Puerto Rico, so you got to break the Spanish
that's a
announce
fact.
table first.
For once, I would just like to see. I would love to see especially in Puerto Rico. I would love to see the Spanish announce tables just jump in front. Like, no, not today. Go to that table.
Oh
That's a viral moment right there.
Yo, they need security, like security around the Spanish announce table. Like, nah, you go over that way, bro.
The LWO should permanently secure
this
table.
They need a Spanish APA.
Security for the night.
Word.
Yo, I wouldn't hire them. They never win anything. They
would get beat up. They'd get trumped.
LWO stands for Losing World Order.
I've been tweeting that for the last week. Like, that's the new name, bro. Okay, see, we on the same mindset.
Yeah, it's rough times over there.
Viva la traza. That's the basura right now.
Basura.
Yeah,
Basura. All right, Chad, you mentioned Zelina Vega. She's challenging Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Championship. I don't see anybody going in any other direction than Rhea Ripley. Keeping it real simple. Ron.
Ditto. Rhea just got the belt. I love Zelina Vega, but it's not her time. Rhea's retaining.
If they put Zelina Vega over, she would become one of the most hated women in WWE history. I don't see it happening. She's going to lose.
Yeah, I think it's Puerto Rico. It's her home country. I think this is going to be one of the biggest upsets of the year.
Yo, Chad's taking under the table money, yo. Somebody hedged this bet, yo.
You don't believe this. You don't believe
it's
this.
It's going to be a swerve, yo. That's how they're going to take the belt off of Rhea.
Yo, you're taking dirty money, bro.
Have her challenge Bianca.
Why it had to be you? I don't know.
She's on SmackDown, right? She's on SmackDown and Raw.
You gotta be taking pesos right now.
They swap. So Rhea's on SmackDown now, and Rhea's on Raw now, and Bianca's on SmackDown.
All right. So with that being said, I'm just gonna go with Rhea. Rhea wins.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
I don't care who's drafted. All of them could go to NXT. She ain't beating Rhea.
You know what I'm saying? Riptide.
I just want to see who's betting against Bianca. Could we fast forward to that match? Because I don't see that.
Funny. JR, I don't know if you're going, you know what I mean? You got anybody else?
You know, I think Zelina surprises and stuns us all and loses still.
I'm about to say, you taking pesos too under the table.
Actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna take those pesos. I'm gonna do it. I think someone cost Rhea her championship though.
Right? I feel like this could be a cool swerve.
Oh, okay.
Because I think WWE is hearing like we don't want to just see the title, two champions like here's your belt, here's your belt.
I don't.
So I think this is the one where someone cost Rhea her belt.
I think what they're doing with the title, I think they're going to rebrand them. I don't think it's going to be SmackDown Women's or Raw Women's after. I think it's like World Universal. They can do the same thing that they did with
World Universal.
Yeah, because they're not going to have them just like, yo, you take my belt. I don't think they're doing that. What I could see happening is a dusty finish. I could see like, Zelina gets the pin, but there's some technicality. Maybe Rhea's foot was really on the rope. Just get that pop, then they restart the match and Rhea ends up winning. So technically Rhea wins, But I could see them doing like a Dusty finish or something. But she ain't walking out of there with that title. I don't think.
I mean, I'm just gonna put it out there. I wouldn't be surprised to see Alexa Bliss kind of make a return, and that sparks off a feud between them. They both have like their dark sides, because I know Bray might be on his way back too. So just to kind of reignite that angle. Yeah, it might be the Wyatt 6 versus Judgment Day at some point, you know. So yeah.
That's the spooky Super Bowl right there. All right, speaking of returns, we have one more 5-point question. Does Randy Orton return at Backlash? 5 points, no.
I said no as well. Keep it simple.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no.
Damn, nobody.
Yeah, I'm a no. I think Randy comes back afterward to set up him versus Roman at SummerSlam.
Word up. Randy will not be in Puerto Rico this Saturday. Moving along, we have Seth Rollins against Omos. There's the biggest job in the world right now.
This is a backlash of all backlashes, by the way.
This is a house show.
This is very backlash. You know what's crazy? Backlash actually used to be some heat.
Because we got a lot of
Backlash
rematches.
was dope.
Yeah, it's usually like WrestleMania rematches, like just with up to stipulations sometimes.
Even the older Backlash used to be heat, yo. We had Triple H versus Hulk Hogan in 2002, which I don't think ever gets spoken about.
Like, yo, remember when they ran Rock against Austin back, and it was for the Smoking Skull title that time? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I mean, this is cool. This is going to be a good show regardless. Like the spectacle of being in Puerto Rico and Bad Bunny and all that's going to be pretty dope. Yeah, no way in hell Seth takes an L to Omos. I don't know who the person, like, who's the next pay-per-view or premium live event match that Omos wins. I can't even tell you that much. I have no idea. I don't know what they're doing with this guy.
Where'd he get drafted?
I don't know.
He's a
free agent, or is he
Omos?
undrafted?
Yeah, he's a free agent.
How is Omos a free agent? He's a free agent?
Yep.
MVP discussed it. He made it happen.
Dog,
Yeah,
don't get me started.
I got the list in front of me right now.
Don't get me started, bro.
Yeah, he's a free agent.
He's a free agent.
Yeah,
You
he's
got,
a free agent.
you have Ron, go ahead, because I'm
But I don't want to see no Omos versus Roman. That is like a Punjabi prison match without the prison.
I was there for the Punjabi prison match era, son. Niggas wasn't sitting around during the Great Khali era. I remember when he was choking Undertaker out. I was pissed. I was like, who is this guy? Where'd he come from?
He's not Giant Gonzalez.
Holy moly.
I
mean, like, I don't. Omos is a nice guy, but yeah, I can't survive if he ever challenged Roman. That might be a PLE match that I might have to just skip.
Oh boy.
Are we all saying Seth?
You said what, Chad?
Seth?
Are we all saying Seth?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Seth might count out.
pretty much.
Yeah, it's absolutely Seth. That was the most random. Like, they just set this up out of nowhere, and Omos is catching the biggest curb stomp in WWE.
It might be a first top rope curb stomp.
Yeah,
That's a fight. Yeah, exactly. This is gonna be the most. What's the most interesting way Seth can curb stomp Omos? Is the story of this shit.
He's gonna fly he gonna jump from the rafters.
Make a moment. Make a moment out of it. That's cool.
We don't even need to spend too much time. Everybody's going with Seth. Next match, U.S. Championship match. This was another one. This was the only other one. Yeah, Brock and Cody was one, and then this one was the one that I thought was kind of. I had to put some thought into it, but we have the U.S. champion Austin Theory. He's defending against Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. Here's my logic for picking Bronson Reed very fast. You can't beat Bronson Reed right now. They're doing a really, really good job. The promos are on point. The in-ring is on point. The presence is on point. He looks like a monster. It would make no sense for them to put a halt or a pause or slow that man down. Put a title on him. He's entertaining as hell. I think there's no reason why you should beat him. Bobby Lashley just got drafted to SmackDown. Bobby Lashley is a main event world championship contender that's in a U.S. championship feud right now. He is going to be one of Roman Reigns' matches this summer. Wouldn't make any sense for the last time we saw him in a championship match to lose to Austin Theory or Bronson Reed if we think we're supposed to believe him as a contender for Roman Reigns. So you can't beat either one of them right now. By default, that means you beat Austin Theory. Austin Theory really ain't anybody's favorite anyway, so he ain't losing anything right there. We got a new champ, U.S. champ, Bronson Reed. Ron.
I had Theory. I don't think it's Bronson Reed's time is yet. I'll give it another pay-per-view or two, maybe up to SummerSlam, maybe, who knows. I think Theory's going to retain. He's going to start something with Lashley. I think Lashley's going to take it from him at the next pay-per-view. Then I think Bronson Reed might take it from him the pay-per-view after that. I'll give Bronson Reed to build him up. I know you say he's building him up, but I feel like they need to build him up to get that title a little more. But that's just my opinion. What you got, Book?
Word. I'm pretty sure I picked. Who did I pick here?
You picked.
You got Lashley.
You got Lashley.
Okay. Yeah. I just feel the way Lashley built up Theory. I just feel like he's gonna take him down. I just feel like it's Lashley's time to win something again. Unless he's the new Seth Rollins and he just takes L's and builds other people up all the time. No, I don't know if that's the type of time he's on, but I just picked Lashley to be different, to be honest with you. His belt's heavy. I don't want to carry it around all the time, guys.
Son of a bitch.
This guy.
I mean, I have to keep Theory, yo. Pretty much kept on the Theory vibes. I feel like, what brand is Bronson Reed going to? Raw?
Raw.
Yeah.
Can't win. Can't win it. He's done. He's cooked. Stays on Raw. So that pretty much leaves Theory, and that leaves Lashley. And unfortunately, for Lashley, right now he's in a space where he can eat that pinfall from Austin Theory. And then a couple weeks from now, months from now, it'll get scrubbed and we won't remember when he challenges Roman, because do we believe that Lashley will be the one to beat Roman? No. So it's okay right now. It's okay. It's okay if Theory beats him right now. It's perfectly fine. They're both on SmackDown. Hell, they'll probably even have a match again in another week or so, and maybe that'll be the one where Lashley does it. But for the sake of my pick, I'm going Theory. JL, what you talking about?
I got Theory retaining. I actually have him pinning Bronson in this one. I think they don't want Lashley to take an L necessarily, and I think Bronson's still early enough where he could take that L and come back on Raw and just tsunami somebody, and nothing would happen.
True.
So I definitely have Austin winning it. Cut to it. And I think the touch on your point there, man, I think the save someone from being get them off that cooked list, that's where the hurt business comes back when Roman versus Lashley. I think
they're going to keep teasing us and playing with the hurt business idea until we see Cedric Alexander's been future endeavored and they got to replace him with Trick Williams. Just fucking insane, yo.
And not to cut y'all off, but I mean we were talking about Alexander and Benjamin before, and yes, they are free agents.
Free agents.
They are free agents. They are
all right, at least they're free agents. Because if they were undrafted, like, nah, they gave Vincent.
They undrafted. They're just agents who are free. Like,
these days, man. That's crazy.
Same difference. Same difference. All right, we have 2 matches left to go. Backlash this Saturday. Let's go with the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Bianca Belair defending against Io Sky. I'm going Bianca. I've actually been one of the guys that's going against Bianca a bunch of times.
You are a culprit for always going against Bianca. All y'all niggas really be going against Bianca, y'all. I can't believe it, man.
I mean,
when did y'all learn?
I've learned to go with Bianca because I'm picking Bianca right here. I think this is a coming out party for Io Sky. Like, this is a reminder for people that were watching her in NXT, and a coming out party for those that haven't, what she can do. You know what I mean? This is going to be a showcase match for her. We already see the dissension. We see like little side eyes between her and the rest of Damage Control. So that's about to fizzle out. I could see it being something where, you know, either Bailey or Dakota Kai, they try to interfere and actually, you know, cost her the match, or just do something that's not to the benefit of Io Sky in this match. But Bianca's defending for sure.
Yeah, I got the same answer. I got Bianca retaining in the story. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, not that I dislike Bianca. I would like to see somebody else hold the title, but
Word.
I think
Hating
Bianca's
on the
gonna win.
black champion book, huh? Hating on the black champion?
Never that. I praise a black champion
That's
every
right.
day. My wife is a
That's right.
queen.
Praise
You
those
feel me?
black queens.
You know
Peace
what
to
I'm
the
saying?
earth.
Peace to the gods.
You ain't gonna get me.
Dear
sucking
mama.
dick, damn it.
Inshallah, nigga. Inshallah.
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
Bianca Belair. Oh,
course.
yeah.
Pretty much.
Y'all know I don't go against Bianca, man. I don't ever go against Bianca, yo. Come on, man. You just can't. It's just not her. It's never gonna be her time to lose, man. She might have 2 years. She might go Roman Reigns on y'all, man. She just might. Look at the competition. Zoe Starks and Indy Hartwell are coming up next. You think she's losing to them? And I like them.
She can lose. I can see her losing to Zoe Starks. I wouldn't mind that.
All of this work undone by Zoe Starks? Come on.
If you build it up right, I can see it happening.
Nah, I fuck with Zoe Starks, but not against Bianca Belair, though. Come on.
No.
She's going to take it to WrestleMania 40. Back to back to back. I'll put it on it. Put that on something. JL, what you got?
Odyssey Jones is gonna become
Yo,
a transgender and join the women's division.
Yo,
And
whoa,
then-
whoa. What the fuck? Yo.
And that's Nia Jax 2.0. All right.
Nah, you got Quincy Elliott, yo. That's Quincy Elliott's role. Quincy Elliott's on that community. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, he
That's
is,
what
but
it
he's not on and he's still down on NXT.
Yeah, he ain't get drafted. You're right.
Now, in all seriousness, man, I
I
think
shout out to the Glad community too, by the way. We appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anybody from the Glad community that tunes into the Ringside Club, salute to y'all. You know what I'm saying? All our queens and kings out there.
I'm gonna go with EO. I'm gonna go with EO.
Yeah.
I think Damage Control helps EO win, and then they jump Bailey out.
Deadass
they
going
jump
with
EO
EO?
out.
Wow, EO Sky.
Either someone's getting jumped out of Damage Control, and it's either EO or Bailey. And I could see EO being the one being jumped out, but the swerve for it would be like how they did Edge with Judgment Day. I think that'd be dope if they jumped it.
Should we get Bailey with the streamers back?
No, I'm good with the streamer.
No,
She got the. I like the hoop.
can-
Bailey. Bailey got the hoop.
Hugger Bailey?
Yeah, she got the hostess cakes.
Yeah, shout to Bailey, man. Shout
oh,
to Bailey in
that's
the
a
leather,
fact.
man. Bailey in the leather, man.
Double
God bless.
cheeked up on a Thursday.
All praise.
Yeah, well, don't sleep.
She game serious.
Rhea Ripley too. That
Peace to mom.
yeah.
Finalmente, we have one match to go. Probably going to be the main event in San Juan, Puerto Rico. The San Juan Street Fight. Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest. This is going to be a clusterfuck. A lot of entertainment. Bad Bunny for the pop. Period. End of story. It's going to be a lot of people, a lot of interchangeable parts going in and out. Judgment Day cameos, all kind of people coming in from the rafters, from the roof.
Edge return, like it's
Yeah,
gonna be
Edge
a
is
rough
coming.
show.
All of that. But Bad Bunny's taking this.
Bad Bunny's a better performer than half the roster, so
Yo,
it is what it is.
Hey,
Yeah,
I'm not mad at that at all.
I got Bad Bunny too, and judging him from the last match he was in, man, I can't wait to see what he's gonna do this time because I remember
I'm genuinely excited.
I think I don't know if it was an interview or I think Triple H was talking about it. I think in one of those like the post show interviews or whatever, he was saying like Bad Bunny really took the time out to go and train. He like put the music aside for a minute. Like he was really serious about it. He really respects the whole industry. So the dude really took time to really do this. So if he was that damn good, I think what was it? It was last year WrestleMania or I don't remember. I don't remember. It was last year WrestleMania, right? I think.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I can imagine what he's been doing, how he's been training now, especially now that he's gonna be in Puerto Rico. So yeah, it's Bad Bunny, man. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a solid match.
Hell yeah. My prediction has nothing to do with the match. It has everything to do with the spectacle. Because if you know anything about this gentleman, his performances are usually off the wall. So, my prediction is he's going to be abducted by aliens after the match, and that's going to be his exit. Because I don't know how you top some of the stuff he's done performance-wise, otherwise. But no, seriously. I do think we're going to get, like, some kind of impromptu Bad Bunny performance or something. I don't see why not.
It's about to be a concert.
Yeah, it's going to be a concert. He's gonna walk himself down to the ring like a boxing match and just perform his way down to the ring.
Yeah, no, very believable, actually.
but no, I have Bad Bunny winning. And again, like I said, he's super entertaining. I don't have anything bad to say about him. He's pretty cool, and you can tell he loves wrestling. So I appreciate those two things.
Yo, for real, I'm more excited for a Bad Bunny match than a Roman Reigns match right now. Insane to say, but that's just where I'm at with it, because this match is gonna rock. He's putting a lot of effort into it, and I appreciate his enthusiasm for doing this shit. And you've got a guy by the name of Damian Priest, who formerly went by a name that is so heinous that is like, yo, not calling a grown man.
Who you talking about? Punishment Martinez?
Yeah. I heard Corey Graves on commentary making comments like, hey, he's delivering the punishment. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah,
not calling a grown man.
We got it.
That's
insane,
worse.
Yo. Insane, but it's like AO said, it's gonna be a lot of malarkey, man. A lot of malarkey and a Bad Bunny win. How he wins, I think will be interesting. I think it'll be a Canadian destroyer into something, or it'll be like a coast to coast type of Shane McMahon-esque move that drives home the win. JL, what you got?
Whew. I was sold on Bad Bunny. I was sold on him. However, I think just for the surprise factor, I think Punishment Martinez goes over.
What a sense.
I think Damian Priest takes it. I think, of course, like Judgment Day, I think as I said earlier, it's going to be Triple H versus Sting 2.0. Everyone and their mama. You're going to have people from Fast and the Furious, and then it's going to have you wonder if Bad Bunny's in the next version of Fast and the Furious come out.
Yeah.
So I see Damian taking it on a swerve, but I see like Bad Bunny having a hell of a performance out there. So
okay. I got an audible, right? So you know how Kenny Omega was the AEW World Champ, and he went over to Impact, and he won their championship, and then just did whatever he wanted to do. He had a bunch of championships. I got all of your predictions written down here, JL. So with the permission of the fellas, how about this? Let's include you in this title. Let's include you in this championship. And if you do defeat any of the four of us, or all of the four of us in that case, you are the new ringside champ, and all you got to do is the next PLE come back and defend it with your picks. But I'm leaving this open. You hung out with us and shit, chopped it up, made your picks. Some interesting picks. Io Sky and Priest is somebody I wouldn't have picked either one of them.
I'm not risking mine.
I think it might be interesting though.
Well, I appreciate it, and at the end of this PLE, I'm gonna cue up the Fink's voice and no. All right, ringside.
Yeah, guys.
I appreciate it, man. I think WWE is gonna give us some swerves, but I think it's something that leads to ultimately some fresher storylines, and yeah.
Word. Yeah, Vince is still driving. We forget about that.
Yeah.
This whole thing might not make sense.
Yeah, I mean, Omos might
like his mustache.
That shit is horrendous.
My name is Vicente.
almost really could be in the main event of Night of Champions, man.
Oh,
come on, man!
Stop, man. Don't do that. Don't do that.
That's the cue.
That's the cue to get the fuck out of here. We have an exit survey, ladies and gentlemen. Let me pull this exit survey up so we can all go to bed. Exit survey is as follows. Wrong answers only. Wesley is the current North American champion. Who defeats Wesley to become the next North American champion? Wrong answers only. I'm going to say CM Punk because the motherfucker will show up anywhere else but work. So he'll show up there and he'll win that. Ron, what you got?
Listen, this guy's getting shots all night. I'm putting Von Wagner in there. I absolutely do not want to see this man with the North American Championship. I'm sorry. I can't do it. Can't.
Free agent.
Prometheus and Bob can go somewhere else, bro.
Bug.
Rick Steiner.
Oh, stay away from that one.
Shit.
Leave that one alone. Move right along.
Fuck, man. God,
You said wrong answer, so
Wrong. That's the
man.
wrongest
I
of
gave
the
you a
wrong.
wrong one.
Holy moly.
ooh.
That's the wrong one. I thought about Brian Breaker, and I'm like, nah, his dad is even wronger than that. I'm gonna go with his dad.
Shit.
Next.
Wrong answer only. I'm gonna go with the belt collector, Kenny Omega.
Man, it's Leon Ruff.
Yo, the return of Leon Ruff. Holy
He's
shit.
gonna
I would not be mad at it
he's
either.
gonna come out to the old Rodney Mack theme song.
Yo.
Yo, we need I'm actually gonna put that in for the next.
Technology turns head.
I think a pigeon just flew in the window. And
Yo.
took him out.
Nah, he set up his entrance. He's about to come out to the old Shelton Benjamin. Ain't no stopping me, no.
Word up.
Run up a ladder.
Oh, word. And Leon Ruff is on. He was on ROH tonight. Actually,
He's been on ROH a little bit. He's been on ROH a little bit. Hold on, let me.
I'm sorry, Leon Ruffin, if I'm correct, right? Leon,
Yeah. Leon Ruff is back.
Oh man.
What it do, chat? You on mute?
Hey, yo, Chad.
He didn't like Leon Ruff, so he had to leave the room. You unmute, my guy. What Leon do to you?
Yo, Leon is outside of your window
We
right now.
apologize, bro. We didn't mean to smut your name, bro. Damn.
Yo,
you still
He
on
got
mute.
so mad he left.
Damn.
yo, this is pretty much the end of the show. Yo, Jail, before we get out of here, let everybody know once again where they can find you, find the podcast, all of the above.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, hold up.
All platforms, and you can follow us at Unsanctioned PW again, and podcasts can be heard on basically everywhere except for Spotify. So, shout out. Catch up on our previous episodes, and right now we're coming back with the revamp. So, appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me on, man. It's been a blast.
It's been a
Look
pleasure,
forward
man.
to coming back as your new champion, and then
We'll see, bro. We'll see.
Word up.
But you guys are awesome, man. Thank you for sharing your platform. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yo, salute,
Thank you.
man.
Appreciate
Thank
you coming through. For Chad Law, my name is AO. This is Ron Bug, piece of JO. This is the Ringside Club. And we out. Peace.